only set goals that matter to you. Because if it doesn't matter, you're not going to probably see it through. And that leads to a weakening of the mindset. So I want to strengthen the mindset. So this year, let's literally choose 1 to 3 goals maximum, maybe even just one. Great. Work on one big one that acts as the domino that knocks down others along the way. All right, everybody, brand new Cabral concept. We're here today on our Mindset and Motivation Monday. Thanks so much for joining me here today. We're going to be going over how to sprint the marathon of life. Yes, it's a metaphor, but I think it's one that's really important as you begin to set new goals for yourself, as that maybe even set new standards, new principles that you want to live by. Because a lot of us have heard the metaphor before that life is a marathon, right? It's a long race. We need to pace ourselves. We don't want to get burnt out. And I don't necessarily disagree with that. What I think that people may get lost in looking at overall is the issue that if we believe that we have a long time to be able to achieve what it is that we desire, we may begin to push off and push off and push off. And what I've always seen in my career, from working in gyms, from working in boutique studios to working in wellness centers, all of that, is that people come in, especially with gyms, and they have high expectations. And they kind of go all out in the beginning. But what they miss is that they need to keep up with the consistency. And so that they may not come as frequently, they might skip a month or two at a time, they may miss 6 months and then just start to come back towards the end of the year. But what I ask you is this, as you're starting to assess your previous year, and we have a few podcasts on that as well, a few shows, is that when you look back, you want to say, how did I do this past year? You want to give yourself an honest assessment, not be hard on yourself, but just an honest assessment. And you want to look at, did I achieve the things that I set out for? And you might say, well, the goals are too big. They're like, I want to have a better relationship. I want to have a better career. I want to have a better body. I want to have more spirituality. Like, you can set big goals. There's no doubt about that. And I want to touch on that because you want those goals, but those are a little bit ephemeral. Those are a little bit meta. They're way out there. And it doesn't allow you to actually track or measure if you're making progress. So what I would say is have the big goals, have the big vision. But what is that you can look back on over the 3-month period of time or the 12 months to say, yeah, I've hit my objectives. I was able to achieve what I was looking to do on the course to a much larger vision for your life. So you might feel that you have a lot of potential or you're growing into your potential. And I believe all of us have that. But I don't think we're able to hit it all at once. And I also believe that we start to think that we have more time than we really do. The more that I look at life, and I know that I'm in my mid-40s now, and when I was in my early 20s, I didn't think this way necessarily, although I maybe grew up a little faster than others because I was so sick from 17 years old on to basically 27 years. And you grow up really fast when you have that type of illness. I really believe that. But the truth is this, is that the years keep moving. And they keep going quickly. And it seems that we have more time maybe than we do. And again, I'm not one to say that life goes by in maybe a blip, but we have phases of our life that we can often do more. So for me, I was actually fairly fortunate. Even though I got sick early, it gave me a lot of perspective that, well, like if I'm not sick, because when I got well at 27 years old, take advantage of this. Who knows if you're going to get sick again? Like I had the mindset, I'm feeling good today. Like, let's use this, not overdo it, but let's use this. Let's use this time. And I also thought about that in terms of family. I always thought about that. I always wanted to make sure that I had time, that I wanted to have kids. I wanted to have a family, but I didn't want to do it too early because I didn't want to struggle super hard. Now, this is just me. These are just some of my goals I'm sharing with you. So I waited until basically my mid-30s. And what it enabled me to do is just, I went back to school. I was able to set up my career. I was able to do a few of the things that I wanted to do. But I knew that I had a small window to do that if I wanted to do it before I was to have kids. And then I wanted to be able to do this, this, and this. And I realized that, well, I don't know, are you going to do that when you're 65? Maybe, but I have other visions for my life when I'm 65 years old in 20 years or so. So there's different visions for where we are in our life, and that's going to change. So what you want to do is assess, what do you want right now? Not when you're 80 years old, because things change. You don't necessarily know what you want when you're 50, 60, 70, 80 years old, when you're 20, 30, 40 years old. You know what you want right now. So at least take care of, satisfy what you want right now. Try to make it of service to others as well as just yourself. So like, what more can you do where others benefit as well? Whenever you think like that, you're going to start to achieve it that much faster, because you have two whys. The first one is you. There's nothing wrong with that. You want to excel in life. You want to enjoy more of life. Nothing wrong with that. Don't let anybody tell you that that's selfish. It's not. Because if you're satisfied and you're happy, others around you are going to be happier. Remember, when you're around people that are miserable, they're upset, all that, they may have very good reason. Like, there's no doubt about it. I was miserable in my early 20s, teenage years. I was miserable because I was so sick. I had no energy. Every day was a struggle. So I get it. I was miserable. I had a good reason to be miserable, right? But it certainly wasn't uplifting for people around me. Okay. But if you are that light, if you are that energy, other people benefit. Now, here's the other thing. You can do so much with your body, your health, your life, your career, spirituality in service of others too. So you have two whys. One, yeah, it's self-serving. Again, nothing wrong with that. It's your life. You're allowed to live your life and enjoy it. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. Now, the other is be of benefit of others, be of service to others. So here's what I want to share with you. We're going to get back to the sprinting part. So yes, the marathon of life, the 80 years that we have on this planet, maybe if we're fortunate, 100 plus years now. I do believe that we can achieve that. So here's the thing though. Either way, it's going to go by quickly, and I want you to know what it is that you're looking for over the course of a lifetime, but now what can we achieve right now? And all I want you to do, stop, I just don't believe this. Don't focus on your 10-year goals. Some people can. Maybe they have a grand vision and they know exactly what they want and they know what they want to achieve 10 years from now. I don't. I don't know what I want 10 years from now. I have no idea. People ask me all the time, like in my work with the podcast or Equal Life or IHP, like, what's your 10-year goal? I have no idea. Literally, I didn't know that I would be creating the Integrative Health Practitioner Institute for now over 5,000 health coaches 4.5 years ago, 5 years ago. No idea. Never planned on that. That was not even a remote possibility or dream. I created it because it was years of people asking me, how do you do what you do? How do you practice? How can I help my clients do this? And I said, well, you would do this nutrition certification, you would do this exercise one, you would do this functional medicine one. And I was like, oh, that's kind of like really disjointed. And I didn't want to create it still because I was in private practice. And I was already working 40 hours a week with patients or wellness clients, and 40 hours a week legitimately running my 2 locations and making sure everybody had what they need. And like, it's a lot of work, right? And so and then I had a family on top of that. And it was a lot. Like, it was just a lot. Like, I would wake up early and I would then come home and do dinner, and then the kids would go to bed, and then I would work some more. That was a lot. I didn't want to do that for the rest of my life. That was certainly, but it was what I wanted to achieve at that time. And then I was realizing, like, it's taken away from family time. That's more of a priority. So we need to do that. And I went more to teaching online, completely free. And I loved that. Like, that's what I wanted to do. And I was satisfied. And then I said, okay, well, yeah, I love to teach. And practitioners want to learn. Let me do that. So what I'm saying is, I didn't know I was going to do any of that. When I opened up my wellness center, I didn't know I would be bringing this virtually and shipping labs, at-home labs now and protocols to 27 countries around the world. I had no idea. So what I'm saying is, I don't know, I would go easy on being too rigid about your 5 and 10-year plans, but do plan the next year to 18 months. So it's like a mini sprint within your lifetime, and it's a year. Now, you're not sprinting the year, but you are looking at, what can I achieve over the course of a year? And here's the thing though, I really don't know of very many body transformation goals you can achieve in a year. Sure, if you want to put in like 30 pounds of muscle, you want to lose 100 pounds, it might take you a little longer than a year. But certainly you could lose 60 pounds in a year, like if that was a goal of yours, right? And certainly if you're a beginner getting into exercise and putting on muscle, depending on the age and all that, you can put on 5 to 10 pounds of muscle. You really can, especially as a beginner. You really can, honestly. And you can add 20 pounds of size through using all natural things as well. We call it daily testosterone support, creatine, taking in enough protein, like all of those things you can. Now, again, is it some of it water retention in the muscles? Yes, but it still gives you size if that's what you're looking for. So again, there's not too many body transformation goals, realistic ones that you can achieve in 12 months. Same with health. Unless you're talking about advanced cancer, or you're talking about like terminal Alzheimer's or some more genetic based issues, you can solve almost every health issue in 12 months. You really can. through precision-based at-home lab testing, specific protocols, like all that really is achievable now. I want people to know that. That includes every autoimmune issue. It really does. That, like, I wouldn't say that. I literally would not say that if it weren't true, because I wouldn't give you false hope. You know that that's not who I am. So we've got body, we've got health in 12 months. What about relationships? Okay, well, I'm not a relationship expert, but I can tell you this. Most relationships break down because of poor communication, not being on the same page, and not understanding why you're in it, like why you're in it together, going back to your why in the first place, what you saw in that individual, and then working at it daily. You can't just do it once a week. You can't do it one night a week. It's working at this daily. And just knowing that, like, oh yeah, one day wasn't a great day. Okay, well, one person that has to be that bigger person, so to say, to just be like, hey, I'm sorry, yesterday wasn't a good day. I was stressed. Here's what I was really feeling. I apologize, right? It's just getting back into crystal clear communication. What are your goals together? What do you want? What type of life do you want to create? And if you're not having those conversations because they're not easy, start small. But certainly you can repair that in a year, no doubt about it. Like, without a doubt, you'll for sure know if your partner even wants to participate in that new great life as well. All right, spirituality, reading, praying, meditating, believing. That's on a daily basis. And it gets better each and every month, but for sure it starts each day. And I don't know anybody who can't really deepen their spirituality within 12 months, dramatically. Read a book a month. Like, just get into your studies of spirituality, whatever religion that might be, to a greater degree. All right, and the last one is career. So that's kind of the 5 that I look at: career, finance, whatever it might be, or like your passion for life, like whatever it is. I just know a lot of people, they have to work, right? They're not independently wealthy. And so they want to enjoy their career. They want to excel at their career. So what do we need to do? Well, we need to learn. We need to grow within our career, right? Or whatever our particular job is. And we need to apply that. And we need to be committed to doing more better. Meaning, like, if you want to advance in anything, you typically can't do the same thing that you've always done. I mean, same with body transformation, right? Same with relationships, same with health, same with anything. You can't do the same thing you've already done and get to the next level. So you need to do a little bit more better. Not a lot more, but like find the things that really matter, that move the needle, and do those a little bit better. So if we take that to heart and we say, okay, well, in 12 months, you could do so many online courses, so many online certifications, an online degree. Like, you can do a lot of those things that are going to move the needle forward. You might say, well, the online degree is 2 years. Okay, well, you need to go through the 2 years no matter what. So let's get 50% of that done over the next 12 months, right? Let's move through that to a faster degree. And so it's a big part of understanding what it is that you even want in the future goes back to taking action now. And in order to take action now, we really need to understand that there has to be that why. There has to be an interest, because you're going to hit ups and downs along the way, right? I've said this before, and I'm not the first person to say it, but success is not a straight line. It literally looks like zigzags up and to the right. So if you're looking at a graph, you are moving up and to the right, which shows progress, but it's ups and downs, ups and downs, ups and downs until you get to your final destination. And all the ups are amazing, but they teach you nothing. They literally teach you nothing. There's no adversity. There's nothing to overcome. It's those dips that teach you everything. They teach you not only how to get to your goal so that if you ever fell down again, you could replicate it in a quarter of the time. But the downs teach you who you are as well. They show you what you're made out of. They allow you to know if you're able to push through adversity or not. And I know that you can, and I know that you will. So when you get to that final destination up and to the right, you made it because of your actions, yes, but it's also because who you formed as a human being. You are no longer the same individual. So then it goes back to, well, how do you know what you want then in 5 years from now, 10 years from now? You don't. You recreate your life every 12 months. Because if you've done the work and you've overcome the adversity, you're not the same human in mind or body 12 months from now. And that means that goals you set a year ago for yourself or 3 years ago for yourself, they're small. They're insignificant to what you now know you can achieve, as long as you've been doing those mini sprints along the way. following the nutrition, following the supplementation, getting your rest, doing your sauna, like all the things that you do over the weeks and months that lead to your year. And it's those mini sprints, which are literally your 8-hour day, your 10-hour day, whatever the time it is that you put in. And you wake up every day with a plan and you work the plan. You don't be that person who looks back in December and says, oh, yeah, I started to go to the gym in January. It's just, this got in the way, this got in the way, that got in the way. Okay, I get it. I understand it happens to all of us. But why didn't you recommit in February or March or April? To me, it seems that it's not that big of a goal to you. And so only set goals that matter to you. Because if it doesn't matter, you're not going to probably see it through. And that leads to a weakening of the mindset. So I want to strengthen the mindset. So this year, let's literally choose 1 to 3 goals maximum. Now, if you achieve them faster, fantastic. Go on and achieve more. But show yourself that you're going to achieve 2 to 3 of those goals this year. Maybe even just 1. Great. Work on one big one that acts as the domino that knocks down others along the way. I'm telling you right now, that's why I go back to weight loss, and I know that it's a sensitive topic and I get it. But if you need to lose 60 pounds, if you just focus on losing the 60 pounds, most likely if you do it the right way, the whole body's going to get healthier. You're going to increase energy in both body and mind. So then you're going to have more confidence, ambition, drive. You're going to do more in all areas of your life. You're probably going to live longer. It's a worthwhile goal. And I don't think that people should dismiss others if they have that goal. Like, well, what do you want to do that for? No, it's about what the individual wants. But also, the one big catalyst can be the driver. It can give you the momentum, like I said, to create then bigger goals for yourself in the future. So here's what I want to do. A marathon, 26.2 miles. That's overwhelming. All I need you to focus on over this next year is the half mile in front of you. That's literally it. What do you need to do today and maybe this week maximum? And if you knock down those dominoes, if you check those boxes, you're going to be well on your way. So let's make this the year, your best year yet. I really believe that for you. I want this to be your absolute best year yet. I want to try to make it mine as well. I'm going to be there right alongside of you. Don't know what a year from now will bring, but what I do want to do is put in the work this year, make it count. And when we look back, as we're running along this marathon of life, we at least said we gave it our all and we smelled some of the roses along the way by the side of the road. Thanks so much, everybody, for tuning into the show. I appreciate you. I thank you. I'll be back tomorrow, as always, with a brand new Cabral concept. Thanks so much for tuning into today's show. Before you go, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I want to make sure that you're getting our daily content, not missing out on anything functional medicine, wellness, weight gain, weight loss, anti-aging, living longer, stronger, and all of the most cutting-edge research. And if there's any topics you want to hear, feel free to leave them in the comments below. Take care.